smells so good, Mother.
It does, doesn't it?
Well, ho, 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 and welcome to the VHS Vault.
What'd you call me?
Ho, ho, ho. Yes, I wasn't.
It's fair.
Not at all referencing Christmas. I was talking to you, sir. Welcome to a very festive, that's the word, festive VHS Vault, Chase. And, you know, we're getting to that time of year where people are stressing about not having enough money, but yet at the same time, we'll spend it anyway. We'll find it from somewhere. Those Black Friday sales are coming soon. You can't muck around. No, it's Christmas time. Let's talk a Christmas movie.
That's capitalism.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
do it.
capitalism. Yeah, I love it. No, we're talking a Christmas movie that I thought you would have seen. And we had a conversation one day, and you turn around and go, I haven't seen this movie. And honestly, I was in shock because I would have considered you a Muppet connoisseur. Like myself, we've seen all the Muppet movies, right? But not this one, Jace.
I was a Muppet connoisseur in the 80s, and then I kind of grew out of it, I guess. And that was about the time that, you know, this movie came out, and the pirate movie, I don't know what that one's called, Muppet Treasure Island, and then
Yes.
Muppets in Space. I haven't seen any of those. But apparently I made a poor decision not to, because this movie's delightful. It is absolutely delightful.
It's I agree. I do feel that this movie tries its best to also still capture the essence and tone and style of the novel. And I think one of the pluses about this movie is they don't shy away from that. They yes, it's a Muppet movie, so there are Muppet gags and but the core essence of what Ebenezer Scrooge goes through in A Christmas Carol, it's all there. It's all there. So straight away it gets a tick for still trying to stay true to the source material. In fact, I would say it's one of those rare movies that encourages young people to go read the source material after this movie.
Yes, having Gonzo portray Charles Dickens, I thought was pretty clever, and having him there the entire time to read the material out of the text was great. Have we told them we're doing a Muppet Christmas Carol? We're doing a Muppet Christmas Carol, by the way.
Oh, I haven't
People are
seen
out there
it by
going,
the
"What movie
thumbnail,
is it?
Jace.
Oh my god! Oh my god! What movie is it? Is this Mickey's Christmas Carol?" Which is also great. I will say Mickey's Christmas Carol is also great.
Never
But
seen
this one's
that.
better. This one's better. You've never seen Muppets, the Mickey Christmas Carol?
I have not.
It's like 45
Okay.
minutes long. Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I'll
Oh.
have to check it out on Disney Plus. I'm one of the rare people who still got a Disney Plus account these days.
I still do too. It's fine. I keep it for gargoyles. But
Yeah.
I will say this. I think that this movie works for one most important reason, and that is Michael Caine. Not only Michael Caine being a fantastic actor, but people joke all the time saying that Michael Caine was good in this movie because he respected the Muppets as actors. I think that is true, but I think genuinely he respected the puppeteers as actors. And you can see in his performance that as an actor, Michael Caine takes the Muppets seriously as people who share the stage with him. And it brings an extra air of gravitas to every single scene that he's in, because whenever Michael Caine believes that Professor Honeydew and Beaker are right there in front of him in the street, we, the audience, believe it as well. And it's something that in later Muppets projects, I think has been lost, is the seriousness of the Muppets as living entities. And I'm not saying it's been that way all the time. I think the Muppets movie, the remake with Jason Segel, I thought was really great. But in some of the projects, you can just tell that the actors aren't really looking at the Muppets; they're looking down at the puppeteers, or you know, "Hi, I'm very famous, and I'm doing this because I need a car." You know, it's It's just that kind of thing. Michael Caine takes the craft seriously. And this honestly makes me wanna watch Muppet Treasure Island now, because I've heard so much about how Michael Caine took the Muppets seriously because he saw them as fellow actors, and Tim Curry was good in his movie because he considered himself another Muppet. And I just I wanna see that now.
Absolutely. I mean, like when you're talking about Michael Caine, he brings it. He goes on this really authentic, emotional, soul-changing journey, and he doesn't hold back from the sorrow he feels, the anger, the heartbreak, the joy. Every stage of his journey is delivered in a great performance by Michael Caine. He is not doing Jaws the Revenge here type of work. He's doing real acting here, and he's bringing it, you know? It's wonderful. But there is I was watching this again, Jason,
And
obviously
say
the
say
timing of
what
it.
say what you will about Jaws. Say what you will about Jaws. Michael Caine has the best line in Jaws the Revenge. And it's not only because you could tell he just did not care about the movie, but it's just something about the entire situation. It's whenever he ditches the plane into the ocean and everybody's getting on the boat, and he's
Yeah.
getting out and he says, "You Americans, all you do is complain and complain." And then the shark jumps up and goes, "Oh shit." And he gets back in the plane. I laugh at that part
Yeah.
every time. To me, that almost redeems the entire movie is Michael Caine's
No.
timing in that one scene.
He only made one movie in 1987, and that was Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, which I will stand by as one of
Oh,
my
fantastic.
favorite movie. Yeah. Either way, he really brings it here, and I seem to think there's also, when I watched it again, Jason, there is an era of sorrow and sadness to this movie. It feels like it's infused into every frame of film. And that's because this is the first outing without the great Jim Henson.
Yes.
And you kind of, it feels the era, which is kind of appropriate for this film tonally in some ways. But it's definitely noticeable. But I tell you what, I haven't looked this up, James, but I'm baffled to know who did Kermit's voice, because did Jim record it prior? Because it sounds like Jim. Perfectly, it
It
sounds like Jim.
does sound like Jim. I don't know if this was filmed before or after, but I do know that his final appearance as Kermit the Frog was
Mhm.
in Muppet Vision 3D, which was that fantastic Muppet 3D movie that played at the Disney parks until they were
I have no
stupid
idea.
and got rid of it for something that's going
I
to
have
be
no idea
absolutely
what you're
art.
talking about.
It was fantastic. Muppet
I'm
Vision
gonna have to
3D
look that up
will
now on YouTube.
play up here forever. We're
Yeah,
talking
so there's a
we're talking a 3D movie on the
mhm.
screen, and right there in the balcony, you had Statler and Waldorf, like, making fun of it the entire time, and they're right there. You can turn and look at them, and they're, like, right there. "Ho,
Oh,
ho,
that's
ho, look at
cool.
the movie's
That is
terrible. Look at
fantastic.
that stupid bear. I wish he'd die." Ugh, great. And Swedish
You know
Chef in the
what's
back
dis
running the projector, which was also amazing.
you know what's disturbing about those two old men the most is when they're younger looking in this film. There's a flashback scene where they're up at the balcony, and there's a dance scene at one point, because obviously there's some really, and I've got to say, the musical numbers in this are really catchy, really great. I think it's Paul Williams did some original songs for it. Like, I like the music in this film, especially the
Right.
opening Scrooge number where the whole town is singing about Scrooge. It's a toe tapping, catchy kind of stuff, right?
Well, yeah, of course Scrooge is going to be a horrible human being if the town is always singing about what a gigantic piece of crap he is. I would be mad at them too all the time. "Oh, yes, you were the choir who was singing about how I don't like children. Well, you know what? You're
Yeah.
gonna lose your home. How do you like that?"
I tell you what, though, he pulls it off when he is, mean Scrooge right in the beginning of this movie. He really is mean. Like, I just
Mhm.
love his performance in that.
Michael Caine. Rah. Yes, he's great.
Did
I
you
said it
also
right.
notice in
"I'm
this
Michael
movie
Caine.
that
Rah."
we got a lot of, and I don't mean this in any disrespect to the Muppet characters, but we got the, like, third, fourth tier Muppet characters in this, which I love. Ones that may have appeared once or twice in a Muppet Show episode make appearances here in background characters for little throwaway gags and all that. And I was also just enjoying that again while rewatching it. That those little Easter eggs they threw in there, and and how they obviously we didn't get Pepe the Le Prawn because he's not around yet. I think the first appearance of him is in the pirate one or
Really?
Muppets from Space. I think one of the two. I know he's got a big role in Muppets from Space, which is actually, look, I love all the Muppet movies, but Muppets in Space is just rock solid. It's like, we'll get into it the day we talk about it because we are going to talk about that film at some point.
Apparently, sure.
Yes, we will be for sure.
I
No,
did
back to
notice
this
what
film.
you were saying about the third tier Muppet characters having such major parts. You really think about it, the top tier Muppet characters are kind of relegated to very small parts. I mean, Fozzie Bear is only in the movie maybe 4
One
minutes.
scene, yeah.
Kermit obviously has the biggest part, but even Bob Cratchit is a side character. And I really think that is what makes this movie something that you can take seriously, is that you don't have these characters who are basically worldwide treasures hogging the spotlight, especially
No.
Miss Piggy, who, she dominates every scene she's in because she's fabulous. But yeah,
Ralph gets a cameo playing the piano. It's just a cameo.
Ralph did not speak for years after Jim Henson passed away because nobody could get his voice right. So maybe Jim was gone by this point.
Yeah, he was, because they dedicated the movie to him and
Mhm.
another gentleman. Yeah, but it was certainly, like you said, the idea of, because the obvious would have been every ghost will be a very iconic Muppet character, like the Muppet from the future present. Like you would have thought, oh, that big giant hawking monster they have, with the raggedy
Oh,
clothes and that.
yeah, Sweetums.
Yes, you would have thought, oh, that would be the obvious choice, but they don't do that. They create a really wonderful new character.
He was so
He
cool.
was so cool.
He was
And just
just
the
such a
idea of him
cool character.
aging as well in his journey. And like by the end,
Yeah.
it's getting close because he starts to get grey in his beard and that. But just his approach to Ebenezer, I love that character. I thought it was kind of wonderful. But this movie also does something that I wish more movies today that are targeted at families would be more brave enough to lean into the scary parts of that text. They don't hold back on the third
Yes.
act with a wonderful line delivered by Gonzo going, "This is too scary for us. We'll see you in the finale." Telling the audience that stuff's about to get really scary. And I love that, because that design of the Ghost of Future, it's pretty creepy looking. I love it.
It is
And it's
pretty
made from
fantastic.
isn't it made from the bed sheets around his bed? Because
I
remember at the
didn't
end, he goes
notice.
back. He is,
Yeah,
because when he goes back,
wow.
right at the end, he grabs there they are. Like he grabs the fabric. Because that's the
Yeah,
same fabric that kind of goes from Future.
I really enjoy how that third act, or the Ghost of Christmas Future portion, is
Yeah.
almost entirely joke-free. They play it straight. It is straight out of the novel, and you're right, it is frightening, and that
Mm.
part with the Cratchits is absolutely heartbreaking. It is so
It's
strange to
devastating.
see it is so strange to see Miss Piggy and Kermit genuinely in mourning and genuinely sad like that without cracking a single joke. It is inescapably oppressive, and
Yeah.
it's so,
It's
I
bold.
don't wanna say wonderful, but it's bold. That's a good word for it. I'm gonna say it. Bold. It's my word. You just repeated
Yep,
it before I
you
did.
can have it. But I just don't know if they do that today. I don't want to sound like that old man, but I'll sound like that old man, where the instinct would do to somehow provide levity in those moments if we made that film today. And I just really appreciate that they don't. They actually lean in to the sadness, the tragedy, the darkness of that third act. But we've kind of jumped right ahead. The first is, I mean, Michael Caine. We got his performance, and just like his performance changes with each entry of each ghost. And I just love that. And it's just to see a man, Ebenezer Scrooge, and I think they do an amazing adaptation of that character and that idea to see him broken down. Again, very adult themes being presented in such a wonderful way with the Muppets. Um, yeah, and like you said before, I think one of the big surprises in this is they are not beholden to the obvious characters. They are just beholden to the story, which is, again, like instead they normally, okay, we've got this character to match that character. We'll do this and this and this. They don't do it here.
No,
Wonderful production design. Looks gorgeous, don't you think?
does. Yes.
There is one moment of stop animation, just the tiniest shot, I reckon about 1.5 seconds on screen. We get to see when the penguins are doing their wonderful skating night they do on Christmas Eve. All the penguins are skating around. There's one shot where you see, but that's about it. And then I think there's 2 blue screen shots. Mind you, the effect held up. Really great blue screen, green screen work here when it kind of spirals when he's like walking through the portal. And again, this is 1992. This is Jurassic Park ain't around. There's not really any CGI work going on yet.
No,
But the rest,
I think
yep,
the
go on.
movie's held up perfectly. The effects, the
That's
puppeteering.
what I was getting at.
I,
Yep.
I'm willing to bet money that there are effect shots in this movie that we didn't even notice.
Oh, it's just so great. I mean, like they did a great optical with Kermit and Tiny Tim when we first see them walking down the street, where Kermit's walking down the street and Tiny Tim's on his shoulder, and they do this great kind of hyper realistic kind of bend to the street as he's walking along. So and that's not about trying to make it look real. That's trying to give you that artistic kind of distorted perspective, and it just comes off great.
Plus, I
Yeah,
like this movie
but
because I like the idea of Robin dying because I hate that character so much. I always hated
well,
him. So it's just like, yes,
Tiny Tim is one character that traditionally in live adaptation they've lent heavily on. Like they've given him so much more screen time, and at the end of the day, he's back being used as he should be used as a kind of a representation of Scrooge finding empathy.
yes.
Like he's just used as a plot device in a way in the book and stuff, and that's I think where he should be. Because I think too much around that of like the obsession with Tiny Tim in this day and age. I don't know if I want to see old man Scrooge hanging out way too much with Tiny Tim or getting obsessed by him. Feels creepy.
It yeah, it's just
But they find the balance perfect here.
Tiny Tim, I think you've been spending too much time with Mr. Scrooge. How about you come home for the week? My father, he says he'll buy me a bicycle. Tiny Tim, you can't use your legs. Think about it.
Yeah, and then when like at one point where they go when he's what happened to he's dead. Like they basically just at
You know,
one point go, yeah, he died. Like, too bad.
he did. Yeah.
He's dead. So no, it's a wonderfully smart adaptation of something that wouldn't have been easy to adapt for an early 90s audience. And the fact that they were willing to go, no man, Muppets are in it. But we're going to try to keep to the story as much as we can. I think gives it that timeless element, and it also has the advantage of it now being timeless because the book is timeless, right? So then they've
Yeah.
tried to follow the book in the way we get this timeless nature of the film. In other words, it looks like it was made last year. It holds up wonderfully.
Yeah. No pop culture references, no no songs that rely on current trends. They knew
Mm,
what they were doing with this story. They knew exactly what they were doing. They didn't put Elmo in it because everybody loves Elmo. Nobody loves Elmo.
yeah, yeah,
If you're over the age of
yeah.
3, you hate Elmo. But yeah, I mean, it's just there were so many conscious, good decisions that went into this movie. You can see the care, you can hear the care, you can see the care, and it's just wonderful. I mean, I was honestly not expecting to like this movie as much as I did. I was just like, "Oh, Muppet Christmas Carol. Yeah,
It
show me
it
something new." And they didn't. They showed me something old, and I loved it.
it had bad marketing.
Oh,
This
yeah.
movie was infamously no one really wasn't hyped up enough. I mean, it cost $12 million to make these films, to make that film. $12 million. Okay, it's 1992, but still, that's not a massive match budget, even in
No,
1992. And oh boy, you can see where it is. I think they really got bang for the buck out of this film.
it went into
But it
Michael
ended up
Caine's
making
pocket.
20. It ended up, yeah, probably 10 million went to Michael Caine, probably. Um, $27.2 million it made is a disappointing outcome, and certainly begins the era where Muppets were kind of on the back seat for a while with this film. Because you're not the only one who didn't see this film. A lot of people didn't. This Treasure Island, and I think Muppets from Space was the first time it started to get back into the public consciousness. But the Muppets went through a dark period, and this is certainly in that. And I think that must have been them just trying to find their feet as a company, and just the passing of the great man himself, Jim Henson.
Yeah, sadly, I think that they're in that era again because I do think that they are owned by a company that, quite frankly, doesn't understand them and doesn't know what to do with them.
No, well,
And
I think Disney's never been known to be able to handle any franchise that they own correctly. I just don't think they've ever handled a franchise correctly, like a long running series, a beloved IP. I the time it works is when they have zero involvement, like Pixar or a Marvel, where they don't really interfere because they want that dollary dues. But
so
yeah,
that
they don't.
honestly, that's what they need to do is they just need to they need to rechristen Jim Henson Studios and step the heck back and let them do
Just
their
let them
magic
do it.
and quit. Like, wouldn't it be great if we put them in the haunted mansion? Huh? And what's the story? They're in the haunted mansion. Huh? We have a movie
That's it.
coming out. It's the haunted mansion.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
sucks. Put the Muppets in it.
yeah, yeah. And I think essentially that's what it
Jared
is. To
Leto's in it. It's gonna make it better, won't it? Won't it? Oh Jesus!
But you see, here was a very specific choice of what type of story they wanted to tell, right? But you're not getting since the remake of that Muppet movie. The what was it? Just the Muppets, wasn't it? When we rebranded it in the mid late two
Yes,
thousands,
yes.
just the Muppets. Yeah, and yeah, so yeah, it is in trouble at the moment. But this film is one of these films at Christmas time. It does deserve a play on your TV, and I think it's one you can put on and enjoy. And it has a wonderful, joyous, fun last 15 minutes. It really does. The moment Michael Caine lights up and he realizes it, like you could have easily just tied this movie up, but they don't. We get these wonderful scenes of like joy and celebration and Christmas. So it ends on such a great high note, and it's uplifting that, hell, man, if you've got a nephew, a young kid, or you know, some kid down the no, don't do that. But if you have a young kid in your family and they haven't seen this, show them this movie. It's delightful.
It is incredibly delightful. As I said, it was a surprise for me. I don't know. I guess I was expecting something. I've seen this. I've seen this. I've seen this. And even though I have seen this, I don't think I've seen something quite this faithful. At least this faithful with Muppets. And it was like a cozy blanket of familiarity and yet novelty as well. And it was fresh while still being nostalgic for a time that you've never lived in. It was funny and at the same time respected the tone of the story. And the Muppets were an enhancement and not a distraction. And so, yeah, this is one of the better Muppet movies I think I've ever seen. It was quite great.
Well, I think we'll leave it on that note, Jason. I don't think you could put it any better than how you just wrapped that up. But I still need you to do some work now because I need you to tell me what's next. What are we watching next? What's coming up on the VHS Vault?
Oh, my goodness, what are we watching next? He asked while I did not have the list up. Well, my friend, we are currently making our way through the Star Wars movies. I
Yeah, it's a
don't
little
really
known
know what they are,
franchise. Yeah,
but we have the third one coming up, but the idiots called it the sixth one. I don't know what the heck they're talking about. But we are going to be talking about the return of the Jedi. I don't know what a jetty is. I think it's something that goes out into the water. So yes, please join us for Return of the Jetty. And then, ladies and gentlemen, for our next Hollywood outing, we usually have 2 of these every holiday season. And I know what you're thinking. What could possibly top Muppet's Christmas Carol? It's a story of life, a story of celebration, it's a story of family. It's a story that takes place in a galaxy far, far away. Ladies and gentlemen, get some Novocaine out because this is going to be very, very painful. In the spirit of our current franchise review, we are finally going to be taking a very regretful eye toward the Star Wars holiday special. It's not a movie. It didn't go to theaters. We don't care. We're doing it anyway because you don't get to tell us how we roll. We roll right into the biggest pile of crap that ever avalanched into the television sets all over the world.
well, I could argue, Jason, from unless you saw it the year it was released, it was the kind of only way you could see it was on bootleg video, and it was like watching a movie. So that's how I excuse it.
Oh, sure. Why not? I mean, heck, if we did the
Yes.
Corman Fantastic Four, we
Yeah.
can do the gosh darn Star Wars holiday
Yeah.
special. And
Well,
a special bonus episode coming your way. Holiday themed, of course. We are going to be taking a look at 2 timeless Christmas classics because double your pleasure, double your fun. Oh my God, what have we done? That is 18 hours of our life down the drain. In a special we call Feliz Navidad, we're going to be taking a look at Avatar and Avatar, The Way of Water.
brilliant.
Splash.
Brilliant. As a lead up for our review of Fire and Ash when that comes out. But Jason, you haven't mentioned the one that I know
Fire.
your little brain in that little guy in the back of your brain is rubbing their hands together in glee by making me watch it. And the film after the Feliz Navidad, we get into some more Star Wars content that I despise so badly. But you just had the Joker grin as soon as you knew I had to watch it. What are we watching?
We're gonna watch the Ewok not Christmas. We're gonna watch the Ewok made-for-TV movies, The Caravan of Courage and the Battle for Endor. The movie that said, "Hey, do you love this family? I'm glad you do," and then the movie that says, "Oh no, they're dead."
The only
Merry
movie where I
Christmas,
see
kids.
Wilford Brimley and I want to punch him in the face because I love Wilford Brimley.
I wanted to punch him in The Thing when he smashed the radio.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Dude,
true.
what? Why?
Yeah,
Diabetes and why?
yeah.
Why, Wilford? Why?
I don't know,
Diabetes.
but he will stay young and he'll
Diabetes
never
makes me do
die.
weird things. I swear that
All
man
right,
was
there we go.
old. He came out of his mom an old man. He just came out going, diabetes. What the hell is this?
What
Is
was
it a
he
boy
like?
or a girl? It's an old man. I don't understand. He's got that
Wasn't
big,
he like
huge mustache.
44 when in the thing? Like 6 years younger than me, he was in the thing. Like
144, maybe. I don't know. I
I
think he
know he
just
was.
fossilized in a volcanic pyroclastic flow back in the Stone Age, and just he kept going until like the rocks chipped off, and he just turned into a pile of dust one day. It's like, well, Wilford's dead.
I think he was
He's
like
the
20
oatmeal.
something plus years older than Jessica Tandy in Cocoon. Or younger, sorry. She was
Yeah.
like way older. Like, and he still
Oh,
looks
yeah.
older than her.
He's just, she was a cradle robber, basically. Yeah.
Oh, well,
Look at
coming
them,
2030.
give Granny a kiss. Mhm.
Well, coming 2031, we'll be doing our Wilford Brimley retrospective series. So hold out for that one.
That'll
I
be
may
whenever
regret
he
this in 5 years' time.
that will be when he rises from oatmeal, Quaker oatmeal, diabetes.
Diabetes.
Let me in. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it.
All right,
We
let's
love
be
you, Wilford
copywriting
Brimley,
that.
and we miss you.
We are going to be doing a now little known B-grade horror film called Brimley, where basically we'll be a cabin in the woods where a zombie demon possessed Wilford Brimley comes chasing after us. It's box office gold, I tell you.
But only the people who don't take their insulin.
Yeah. And the thing is, that means they're going to be fat people. So, because, diabetes can be a fat person's disease. Type 2.
Okay,
I
you
have
know
type
what?
2. It'll be
Wilfred
good. They won't be able to run away.
Wilford was a little chunky, so it'd just be a very slow chase. It'd be like diabetes. Diabetes.
Anyway, this has gone bad. This has gone bad, as it always does.
It
So,
never
dude,
went good.
it never went good. All right, let's plug the hell out of this stuff and get out of here.
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to avoid diabetes, you need to become a YouTube channel member and get our content early. And you also can become a YouTube channel member. It's just that easy, and you can get diabetes early. And you can have some oatmeal, and you can get away from Wilford Brimley. Now here comes Wilford Brimley. Yeah, Wilford Brimley. Okay, that was not at Wilford Brimley, but anyway, don't let Wilford Brimley.
I don't care. I thought it was hilarious. I don't care. Let's go.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, diabetes.